beyond the realm of human desire, there is a darkness.
Well, that's why I'm with you. Because you say I for me.
Love opens to absolutely unknown horizons.
Isabella Johnny, the internationally acclaimed actress, in her most explosive, controversial role. Sam Neill, Heinz Bennett, two men, and a woman no man could ever possess. Special visual effects by Academy Award winner Carlo Rambaldi. Mortal terror. Inhuman ecstasy. Soon you will know the meaning of possession.
VHS KvLT.
Okay, Jose Canseco.
All right, first let's get into this long 14-page essay I have about possession, and specifically just Heinrich.
Heinrich von Heinrich.
I assume
I
that's
don't know
his
his
name.
last name.
No, it's definitely his name.
Something like that. He's a German guy. Before we get into possession, update the date watch. I forgot about it until just now. So that's the update. I'm gonna send Grimes a DM on Twitter.
Can you send her a DM?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have their DMs blocked, so you can't.
I'm gonna send her a DM. Let's see if she wants to go. I'll DM her on Instagram. You can do that no matter what.
Okay.
I'm gonna send her a DM somewhere, somehow. Be like, hey, want to go to the show with me?
I'm gonna send her a carrier pigeon.
Yeah, I'll let her know. And that's Date Watch.
That's been a VHS KvLT Date Watch update.
Yeah, I already told you before the podcast. Rugby World Cup 2019.
Yeah,
it's happening. I've been trying to watch it, but it's on overnight.
Judging by the amount of audience we have in the U.S., I would guess no one cares. But
I was thinking that because they're showing the games on like NBC
Sports.
No, not even sports. Like it's something like NBC Olympic Gold, or it's like some fucking weird, very tertiary channel they have. And it's like, what? It's the World Cup though.
Well, that's what doesn't CNBC show the NHL playoffs? I remember watching it on CNBC at one point.
So the FIFA World Cup is on like major networks and shit now. And Rugby World Cup, it's not. Rugby's way cooler than football.
Well, I don't think America agrees with you.
I guess not.
They like their football.
They like their soccer. Rugby's way cooler. The United States are even in the tournament this time.
What?
Yeah, they're not gonna make it out of the group stage. But
didn't they win the first rugby Olympic gold the U.S. did?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's the story I remember reading.
I was listening to some commentators about it, and they're like, all right, so it's been about 20 years since the United States had a professional league in rugby. So this might be finally the time that the United States is approachably kind of as good as some of the other teams. And it's like, I don't remember what group they're in. I think they're in Group C, which includes like France and Argentina and stuff. So like, they're definitely not gonna make it out of the group stage. Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be England, South Africa, or New Zealand, maybe Australia.
You rooting for the boys in green?
Yeah, Ireland, man, they're number one in the world. Like, why is we getting no respect? No respect.
That seems to track with everything I know about Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stayed up last night to watch them thoroughly trounce the Scots.
As it should be.
Yeah. And then see all the Irish Simpson memes that were getting posted about it. That's Rugby Watch. Take care of Rugby Watch. Now we can talk about possession.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I watched American Horror Story. The first episode.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit, I think.
I thought we were talking about off air, but I can't remember.
Well, yeah, probably off air because I think it was just like Tuesday that it was on or Wednesday. It's the same as every American Horror Story, I think, where it starts off with a strong premise, and you're like, well, maybe this season they'll get it right.
I don't know. I don't actually think this premise is that strong. It seems like they've introduced 2 serial killers
right away
with no mystery surrounding them at all.
Yeah.
I guess the one kind of...
I think the
Night Stalker kind of has...
Everyone knows who the Night Stalker is, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine. And also, I think he'll probably not be in it for very long. I don't know. The problem is American Horror Story, the writing is such a mess.
We talked about this. It's
such a mess.
If you've ever read the DC Challenges comic book, this show is written the same way.
Yeah, so I don't imagine it'll actually be that good. Every season is just interesting concepts. They got like a strong aesthetic. The music's good. And you're like, all right, maybe this time. And then it just falls apart after like 2 or 3 episodes.
I usually feel like the 3rd episode is where it starts to...
And that's the problem is they take really specific niche like horror tropes and try to build like 10 episodes, 13 episodes.
Yeah, it's weird to try to build a 10 episode series out of a slasher movie.
Well, basically they're making Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought
the first one.
I thought it was Sleepaway Camp. I thought Emma Roberts was gonna have a penis at the end of this.
Maybe Sleepaway Camp might come in there too, but basically it's the late 70s into 90 slasher movies, but there's barely enough content in Friday the 13th to get to 80 minutes. I don't know how it's going to work for 10 hours.
What do you mean? They made 10 of those movies.
They're just going to have to keep introducing new characters like every other episode? I guess American Horror Story would be happy to do that. Yeah.
And also resurrect characters that died in a previous episode.
There's going to be weird like musical numbers in it too that are really anachronistic, I'm sure. They like doing that. Mm-hmm. Well, luckily... You're listening to a podcast about good horror movies and good content. So we watched Possession. Possession is one of those movies that I think like only the person who made it actually understands exactly what it's about.
Do you want me to go through my bullet points from last time?
Yeah.
I have a couple regret.
Okay.
First one, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
The strangest take on divorce and infidelity that I think I've seen. I feel like the whole movie is kind of a metaphor for that. In a way.
Well, he was writing it during a divorce, and also while this is like the second time he was exiled from Poland. So
that's all there for him.
Yeah, he was having a bad time.
What movie did they think they were making?
He knew exactly what he was making.
Yeah, did he? It feels like there's a bunch of cuts to the story that he made the wrong choice, and I guess I don't know if he edited or not, but it just doesn't seem like it's.
Oh, there are some spicy cuts in it. Yeah.
Yeah, like some weird choices. I think. Cut wise, what was my other? I think it was my other note too. Oh, he should have killed Heinrich just for being a douche. And there's a lot of character work done while covered in blood.
Yeah, that's real
everybody
life.
in this movie also is super fucking odd. Like even the ancillary, secondary characters are just off.
Well, it exists in like its own like weird dimension,
like, its own weird West Berlin.
This is Andre Zulawski.
Andre
Zulawski. He's a very famous Polish auteur. This is his only English language film. I actually met him one time.
Did you punch him?
No. It was something for like the ASU. They were hosting some film festival where they were just showing his films, and like we couldn't get in to one of his other movies, and like he was outside talking to a professor that my girlfriend at the time knew, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about it," and shook his hand. I was like, "Oh, I really like Possession. Bye." And that was kind of it.
Oh, I did write down some quotes.
Oh, he's also dead now.
Well, I would assume so, but it's 30 years ago.
Well, I only met him like 10 years ago, but he died 3 years ago. It should have been like, "See you in hell, Deadman." If only I would have known at the time.
I wrote down my favorite quotes. I certainly love your coffee. And my pleasure, sir. I love the way the taxi driver delivers that line.
My pleasure, sir. Do you love the scene where they meet in the cafe and
start yelling at each other?
Yeah, and throwing chairs everywhere and shit.
It's fucking uncomfortable.
I was like, man, this is Berlin, huh? Everyone's just used to this shit.
Yeah, because this goes on a long time before anybody tries to stop him.
And then like the entire like kitchen staff comes out to stop Sam Neill.
Well, he is like a German spy.
Yeah, he's a spy for West Germany of some kind. After the Pink Sock Man, who shows up at the end. He's some Pink Sock Man is some sort of bureaucrat.
We guess.
Speaking of which, this film stars Sam Neill, who famous, I guess most people will
Dr.
know him
Grant?
from Jurassic Park, or that dumb fucking turn of the century crime show with Cillian Murphy.
Oh, I didn't watch it. What is it?
Peaky Blinders.
He's in that.
Yeah, well, I think in the beginning, right?
Sam Neill makes interesting choices for his acting.
Well, my friend, he was born in Northern Ireland and moved to New Zealand when he was quite young, and he plays a Northern Irish investigator who's after the Peaky Blinders or something. I don't know. I remember I tried to watch the first season, and I was like, they should call this show fucking the Dookie Eaters.
That tells me nothing about it, but okay.
It's just not very good. It's like a show for people who think like wearing a t-shirt with a waistcoat and a flat cap is a cool look. You know what I mean?
Sort of, I guess.
It's like a variation of the neckbeard. Right?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it's just a weird, like, hyper masculinity. Like, oh, well, wasn't crime so beautiful back then? Fuck you, crime's beautiful today. Anyway, Sam Neill's in it. He's Jurassic Park man. He said this is one of his favorite films that he's made.
He gets to chew up the scenery a lot, so I can see why.
I mean, it was definitely like fun for him.
There's some. It's not a popular movie, so we haven't seen a lot of this, but there's some gifable, memeable stuff in here, especially like when Sam Neill's in the fucking rocking chair.
Yeah, and it's going. He's so extreme with it. It's actually gotten quite a bit more popularity in the last few years. I feel like.
I still feel like it's definitely a cult film.
Oh, it's definitely a cult film, but it's like even the cult around it didn't really manifest until like the last like 5-10 years. Probably people kind of rediscovered it. I don't want to say acclaimed
I can see it's
at
one
the
of
time,
those one that it's like,
but like critics at the time were like, "This is pretty interesting."
What did Roger Ebert think of it? I bet he loved that shit.
I was trying to find his review of it, but it just led me to someone else's review on his website when they finally released the original uncut version in 2012. So Ebert probably saw like the original American release version, which has like a lot of the fun stuff cut out of it.
I don't know what version I saw.
You definitely saw like the updated version, I think.
Oh, okay. It was 2 hours, so I assume it was.
That's
the other thing. It feels like for the runtime, there's still some stuff missing.
No, I don't know. I just it's like it really disarms you because it is like a different world almost, and like I feel like if he were to add more to it, it would just end up like over explaining the situation. I think there needs to be like an air of mystery.
Here's the thing.
it.
I don't know. I'm not talking about necessarily even like the shit with the wife and the potential demon hell thing. I'm talking more about like Sam Neill and his job and his work. Like why does those guys show up at the end of the movie? Like the finale to me makes no sense in context with the rest of the movie. Like it turns into a little action chase scene. And there's explosions, but why?
Well, it's like 3 different movies,
right? But the 2 of the movies make sense, and 1 doesn't.
I think the ending makes relative sense. It's just like killing people and covering up crimes for his wife, who's killing people. And
he only really killed 1 person.
Yeah, he only killed Heinrich, really.
Right.
We got to talk about the actual star of the film, though.
All right.
Which is Isabella Adjani. She's a French actress, mostly did a lot of French films, but she's a very celebrated actress. I got a quote here from her about the making of the film. And, I mean, when you watch the movie, it'll make sense. Possession is only the type of film you can do when you are young. He is a director that makes you sink into his world of darkness and his demons. It was okay when you're young because you're excited to go there. His movies are very special, but they totally focus on women as if they are lilies. It was quite an amazing film to do, but I got bruised inside out. It was exciting to do. It was no bones broken, but it was like, how or why did I do that? I don't think any other actress ever did 2 films with him. Making this film was particularly arduous for her.
I mean, shock and awe. You've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, so I'd like to juxtapose that with Sam Neill, who said it's one of his favorite movies and he had a good time making it. Because...
well, I mean, again, like, there's a lot of good shit in there for an actor, but the actor shit is not very fun.
Yeah, here's the thing is Sam Neill's in there just playing, like, kind of a dick scorned lover, like fragile white man,
Right?
Chewing the scenery, but he mostly just has conversations and shit, right?
Right.
She's fucking going from euphoric hysterics to complete hysterics, writhing around on the ground, being crazy, murdering people,
Right, having like weird
getting
sex,
molested by fucking puppets, and you know what I mean. It's like a fucking way different movie for her than it was
for Sam Neill.
Yeah, and that reminded me of The Shining.
That's true of like a lot of these horror movies too, especially ones that
they
focus
torture
on
women quite a bit. Yeah, like The Shining I was gonna bring up because the content of the film it doesn't necessarily require Shelley Duvall to be tormented and stuff, but for some reason to elicit the right reaction he wanted, Stanley Kubrick basically tormented her nonstop the entire film.
Sounds like Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like she didn't ever really get over it. Like he kind of
fucked her up.
Yeah,
and I mean I think that's possible, but I don't know. Like this shit.
That's the thing is these auteurs, as they're often called, the painstakingly original, full control filmmakers like Kubrick and Zalowski they do like cause other people to suffer for their own vision. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It's kind of unhealthy when you think about it, right? Because it's just
you're suffering from my art.
Yeah, I
mean, I guess in certain extent you can argue that it's the actress's art too. But when you have the actress come out and say, you know, shit like that, it's makes you think that you know, maybe not worth it.
I mean, it's like, well, so you want to get your film made, you think it's important, and you want other people to experience it. This like experience whatever your experience, whatever led you to make this. You want other people to see it and stuff. It's like, well, you got to have participants, and she read the screenplay before she signed up, probably. You know, so she kind of consented to it.
That's a little different
like,
than you don't know what the director's going to be like and what the.
Oh, right. I think the Stanley Kubrick and The Shining thing is actually rather different. Wherein, like I said, the content of the film wouldn't turn very many actresses away. It's just like, can you imagine your boss like berating you for 10 hours a day for weeks on end? Mm-hmm. And that's what Stanley Kubrick did. That's just like, you're a fucking asshole, man. No one stopped him. So it was a little bit different, but I did want to bring it up because she does a great job in this movie, but it's hard to imagine having to do that work. I know a lot of people like tend to like shit on actors and actresses, like, oh, it's an easy job, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, no,
sometimes it's
a super easy job. You know what I mean? It's what Seth Rogen had to do and like Knocked Up is not hard.
No.
But her role in this movie is a little bit different.
Yeah, at least just like excruciating torment in a lot of the scenes. Like even scenes where she's not being physically tormented or anything, just like
she's supposed to have some sort of mental anguish.
Yeah,
how do you convey that, right?
Yeah, she just seems in pain throughout most of the movie. And that brings me to my next question for you. Would you help cover up your wife's murders?
In this situation?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Well, why not?
What do you mean, why would I?
Because she's got to protect those demons.
I mean, first of all, if this was like happening in real life, when I came home, first of all, I wouldn't go on a 3-week bender and then not see my kid. Like, I don't relate to Sam Neill in this situation at all. But if I came home and like the kid had been left alone for days on end and I had to take over, like then she came home and started ranting at me and being crazy, she's getting 5150.
Not here in Arizona, but in California, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
she's talking about bitches behind wallpapers and shit.
Yeah, I mean she's a little bit crazy. And
a little bit?
The nature of her crimes are pretty crazy. But I don't know. I'd probably still help her out because like I would want to, like, what's the end goal here? Is this, like, the end times?
Because, like, she doesn't, like, Sam Neill really has no indication that there's any, like, weird occult shit going on.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's going on at all because he's an absentee.
Yeah, he's not, he had a job that took him away from the house.
Yeah.
When I meant, like, when he gets home, he still has no context of what's going on with her. He doesn't know that there's, like, weird occult shit or Satanism shit going on. I don't even know if that's what it is because it doesn't.
Yeah,
they kind of do a little bit with with Christ, but whatever.
Yeah, when she's
in the church
talking to Christ, but
yeah, and then she has her strawberry cheesecake abortion or miscarriage.
Yeah, that's a little bit later. I thought it was more like, she's having a RoboCop abortion. Because
RoboCop
he has like milk for blood.
I wouldn't help her cover up the murders. I still lost my train of thought. If I came home, she just is so erratic that I would assume she's on drugs or something.
Yeah, but drugs are cool. I mean,
she's obviously not handling them correctly. You know what I mean?
Doing drugs doesn't make you cool, but not doing drugs can make you pretty boring. That's the tip from your old cult leader, because
I guess what I'm getting at is she's done too many drugs and she's doing them too often.
I mean, as the film descends into madness...
I mean, the first part of the film itself, of the first 40 minutes, it's just like it's a movie about divorce.
Yeah, it's just
a
domestic
dissolution
drama.
of love.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, every time I watch this movie, before like the descent into madness, so like the first act when it's a completely different movie, really, I'm always just like, yeah, Sam Neill, you kind of fucking suck. I think it's illustrated really well, and that's the reason why the film's called Possession. Well, I guess double meaning, because she's possessed, some demonic possession, but also because Sam Neill treats her as a possession.
Well, everybody treats her as a possession. Heinrich treats her as a possession.
Right, and I
think that's actually kind of her going back to her quote in the movie, is that women are treated like fragile lilies. Women are treated like possessions.
Yeah, but Zalowski's like specifically addressing that in this film. There's a lot of him. I'm assuming him trying to reconcile his own behavior through the divorce and that sort of thing, and his own like bad masculine traits and jealousy, possessive nature, and that sort of thing. Because he has a quote where he's talking about like one of the toxic elements of love is possession, and it's like, yeah, I guess that's an interesting thought. So at the beginning of the movie, every time I watch it, I'm not trying to say like I'm the best like partner or lover of all time. I'm not like an angel or anything, but at the beginning of the movie, it always is kind of like, fucking Sam Neill, you suck. And it's really well encapsulated in like absolute very beginning of the film. He gets home and they show him in bed together after she couldn't decide if she wanted to let him in or not, blah blah. And she's on the fucking very edge of the bed, and he's crowded right next to her, and you're like, fucking, do they have a twin bed or something? But then the camera pans over and you see that he's fucking just crowded her to the edge. It's not giving her any space. And you're like, I'm on to you, Sam Neill. You toxic man, you.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, she lies to him the entire time, too, so it's not like she's a great person.
Yeah, I guess I just always favor powerful uterine energy of women, because it's just like, fucking, yeah. Let her be, Sam. Come on, man. It's also because he's like a dorky wiener in the movie. So I'm just like, until you meet Heinrich, and then you're like, I don't
understand this at all.
I don't trust her taste in men at all. But at first you're like, yeah, why would you be with this dorky wiener? This fucking cop. Yeah, so the beginning of the movie, it is just like, it's a domestic affair. You can kind of see both sides, obviously. I don't know, to me, Sam Neill just kind of sucks at first. And especially when he's like, I'm just not going to see Bob anymore. Yeah, it's like, man, you're a fucking asshole. And that's why she freaks out in that scene, really. Because we don't know that she's crazy in other ways yet.
Yeah, because she needed him to take care of Bob so she could be with the demon boy.
Yeah, but it's also, before you realize that, you're just like, yeah, he's fucking...
Yeah.
He is being an asshole, and it's right for her to be like, you're just not going to see your fucking son anymore? You piece of shit, you goddamn cop? And then he beats her, too, like all cops beat their wives.
No, Kyle, just like 80%.
40% of police admit
Is it 40?
to...
I thought it was... Well, yeah, 40% admit, but I'm pretty sure there's some research that says it's closer to like 80%. But whatever.
I'm sure it's most of them. They just get the best of the best, you know? They get fucking...
It's a thin blue line.
Scum class traitors to ruin interpersonal relationships and other people among their class's lives to protect the property of... Man, we gotta stop going on these like fucking far left rants. I do. We're not ever gonna.
I keep myself in control.
Yeah, we're not ever gonna get sponsors or any of that shit. I don't care about sponsors really, though. I think I'd rather.
No, I need that Casper Mastras. Casper mattress are the greatest.
MeUndies.
Fuck the MeUndies.
They're
all the same underwear. I don't give a shit about your modal fabric.
Micromodal prevents you from getting dookie stains.
No, it's still gonna be dookie stains.
It's actually, the grip on it's so good, it gets in there and pulls the dookie right out of you. It's nothing but dookie stains in there. You get these fanciful designs like slices of pizza.
Do they have dookie?
Dookie on your dookie drawers. I bet they have like a dookie one.
I like a nice dark colored underwear, so I don't see my dookie stains.
I just like wear underwear the least amount of time as possible. Underwear's for chumps. Wearing clothes for chumps.
Animals don't wear underpants.
Quite later on in the film, where we as the audience are kind of aware at this point of everything, of the extent of her demonic loving, but Sam Neill doesn't know yet. And she like comes to visit. They're sitting on the couch, and he's trying to have a calm, rational conversation, even though fucking everything he does in this movie is still like so menacing. You know what I mean? Like there's like this weird intensity to him. Where
He's got this like,
man?
Yeah, he's always.
He seems crazy too.
Well, it goes back to everything what I said at the beginning. Like, everybody in this movie seems odd as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the neighbor Marjorie is weird.
Yes, she is.
Oh, I love to see you down.
Yeah, but then like, he wakes her up later and they like hug.
Yeah,
presumably and get it on. Yeah, but so it's the same scene where she tells him about the RoboCop abortion, but leading up to it, even before that, he like says, "When I look at her now, you seem vulgar to me." And I was like, "Oof, it's like an intense thing to say." And I was thinking, my most recent ex, when we broke up, we like ran into each other like a couple weeks later at a party or whatever, and it was just, you know, there's bad feelings at the time, right? Because no breakups are ever that great.
Yeah.
And like I was pretty drunk, and she, I don't know, like just like came up to say something to me, and like I didn't really hear, and I was drunk, and I thought like my intention, I believe at the time, was like I was like giving her a stank face and like kind of shrugging because like the party, to imply the party you're at was kind of weird. But like she misinterpreted it like I was just like
mean to her, mad at her, or whatever,
like dismissing her as like a human being or whatever. And like you said, I was drunk. I don't know. It probably didn't come across very well, and things were pretty intense at the time. And I remember she texted me about it later, about how upset she was, and she's like, "Yeah, I know, I understand we broke up and you're upset, blah, 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 but like it made me feel like I was vulgar or something." And I was like, "Ooh, so that scene, the last couple times I've watched this movie, it reminds me of that. And so it always like disturbs me a little bit, because that's like a really intense thing to say to someone that you're like bonded with, you know what I mean? Say, "Oh, you're vulgar to me."
You just got to develop that calloused heart as soon as it's over, and then you just laugh. Ha ha! You're vulgar.
No, it's all good now. We're still friends. I still love her a lot. She's a good person. I don't know. That's sad to think about. That's why I started drinking again. Crack open the chiladas, boys. All these movies we keep watching, I'm just like, man.
You're the one that picked these.
Need a chilada.
I wanted to watch Neverending Story.
We're getting to Neverending Story. We just gotta make it through the spooky season somehow, some way. We gotta soldier on to get through all these spooky movies that I chose and love.
I'm a little excited. I'm gonna make the kids watch it with me. I'm excited to see if they like it as much as I did when I was their age.
I
remember it not holding up the last time I watched it.
I remember when I was a kid, I didn't even like it that much, except for Falcor.
He's the coolest.
Yeah, but any other scene in it, I was like, I don't care. I ain't got fucking no Jim Henson creations in this shit. So they got like rock people, or is that not until the later ones?
No, I think that's the first one.
And one of them has Jack Black. That's like Neverending Story, like 4.
Yeah.
Jacob Blackab. I'd like to see them remake Possession with Jack Black
as the woman character.
Absolutely.
Or maybe he could play Bob.
Bob. Why is their son just named Bob?
Maybe it was a popular name in '81. That when I was watching the movie, it reminded me that the kid's school, there's a little boy who goes by Frank. And it seems like such an old man named him.
It does, yeah.
And he gets upset if you call him like Frankie He's like, nah, it's Frank.
Hey, let me get one of them boygers. It's me, Frank.
Hey, it's Frank over here. Hey,
Frank.
what you know?
through.
You call me Frankie, you piece of shit. It's Frank. I'll cut you.
Yeah, that is like a Frank. On top of him being a child, and they're like, why would a child go by Bob? It's also his mother's French, and clearly French, because it's not like she changes her accent or anything.
Yeah.
His father is British, I guess. I mean, we know he's a Kiwi, but he's doing more of a British accent. Why would he just be named Bob?
Because Bob's a good English name.
Bob. And the child has an absolute like fucking North London accent. Just a little inconsistent.
What is going on, Month run off of a man named Franklin, or Hanklin, or Heinrich.
Heinrich, you give me a sailboat, father.
Father, give me a sailboat. Teacher at school looks just like Mum. Really confusing to me. It makes me cry.
Yeah, it's weird that the kid never mentioned that before, huh?
Yeah.
Do you think he'd be like, what the fuck? Also, obviously, so that's one of her demon clones, the school teachers, because they all have green eyes. But that must have been like one of the first early on demon clones. But how recently did she install her into the post of being a tutor at that school or a teacher? And how did she get the credentials to let her be a teacher?
Is that what we're supposed to think, that she's a demon clone created by? I can't remember the mom's name.
Anna.
Anna, thank you. By Anna, I kind of assumed that it was created by someone else. Like, I don't know.
Well, all the demons turn into clones of people in her life. Like
but we only see one demon clone, right?
Well, we see Sam Neill's character and Margie at the end.
We see Margie as a demon.
Yeah, because Margie's dead. Remember, and
I don't
killed
remember.
her. That's the body he was trying to hide.
Yeah,
in the
I know that.
And then at the very end of the movie, Sam Neill and Anna get shot up. The Sam Neill clone miraculously doesn't get hit.
Yeah,
he continues walking upwards. He runs into a Margie clone.
That's not a Margie clone.
Yeah, she's still got the boot on her foot.
Isn't it just some woman in the apartment they're in that he like somehow? It's not a clone.
Yeah, there's.
I think you're missing. I think you remember this. The woman he gets a gun to.
Yeah,
it's just some woman in the apartment. It's not Margie.
Why does she shoot everyone?
Because he's like a magic man. He hypnotizes her. He's a son of Satan.
Why does she got a boot on her foot?
I don't fucking know. It's not Margie though. Go back and read it.
Let's check it out.
How many times have you seen this movie?
Like 5.
Yeah. It's played by a completely different actress. She has a club foot, though. She's listed as a woman with club foot.
Damn. That's crazy. I always just thought it was another Margie clone.
Nope. I think it's just a woman that opens the door because she hears the gunfire, and then he's like, I'm a magic man. Shoot these people, baby.
Weird. Oh, I guess because maybe he's like he would be a magic man because he's like the Antichrist. Or
right,
whatever.
And then when he goes to pick up the kid, the bomb's going off.
Yeah, because, oh no, it's finally happening.
End times.
Bob's
like, all right, time to commit suicide.
Yeah, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Don't open it. And he just runs upstairs. He's like, time is round. And he's looking, I like all the camera work in this movie is amazing.
It's pretty good most of the time. There's a couple times where it veers into give Sean nausea territory.
Oh, because of the handheld stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry, not everyone's a wimp like you. You wimp with your vertigo, motion sickness. I don't know.
Vertigo's heights.
Yeah. I like the camera work a lot in this movie. It's really good. It's a very beautifully shot film. Even though it's like drab and gray because, it's Berlin, they still do a lot with that. And then specifically, I wanted to bring up the shot where Bob gets up and he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And the camera pans around and you see the clone like leaning onto like the glass door. And it's like, man, what a spook him he is. And obviously the teacher would have to be another spooky clone because she's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna let in this creep.
Well, she pauses at the door though when all the stuff's going off, and the last scene is just her staring into the hallway, and then the Sam Neill clone is like pressed against the door behind her, but not inside.
Yeah, but she's just making sure she gets her body ready so they can copulate.
It's like a keymaster gatekeeper situation.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought that maybe like this was because there was at the very beginning of the movie. The fuck is Sam Neill character's name?
Oh, Peter?
Yeah, I think it's Pete. Peter.
Yeah.
Petey. Well, I'm gonna call him Petey. So anyways, Petey and Anna are in the bed. This is the scene you're talking about, where he's way too close and she wants space. Although, if you want space, maybe don't sit next to him naked. Send him mixed signals.
But
Are they naked?
Yeah, but it looks like they like sleep naked
I
in
guess
general.
that's true. Well, I mean, he sleeps naked with the teacher later on too, which is a weird scene. It's like, I just met you. Let's fuck.
It's kind of like a mirroring of the other scene.
Yeah,
because the teacher clone lady is
a
mirror of his wife, and she seems to be a more
stable.
Or so when she's talking about the abortion she has, she's like, all right, so Sister Faith was who I aborted, and all this love Sister Chance, and I have to take care of Sister Faith. So I think the idea is that it's like another half of her, like the more open, faithful, traditional values kind of half of her, you know? Presumably that's not stated outright, but that seems to be the case. And so that scene mirrors it because it's like more wholesome, or like she's like, oh, I'm here for you and Bob, we can listen for him together, you know? And it's not immediately sexual or possessive.
She can make love to me if you want.
Yeah, so I think it's supposed to be the like distorted mirror version of the first scene. But yeah, just because someone sleeps naked next to you doesn't mean they want to get banged out. They need you all up on them.
I'm just saying that the whole situation is weird. If you want space and distance, you're not sure if you want him back in the house. Why are you sleeping in the same bed with him naked?
Well, I mean, because you don't know what you want sometimes.
Right. But, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, but that doesn't immediately give Sam Neill, like, carte blanche to just, like, all right, I'm just going to bother you nonstop while I'm here.
He wasn't even bothering her. They were in the fucking bed talking. What do you mean?
Well, no, I'm specifically that he's crowding her shit. Like, who the fuck sleeps like that anyways? Like, doesn't he need his own space?
They're not. I mean, they're not sleeping though. That's the point.
Yeah, but like sleeping with my girlfriend is, well, I mean, if you're like already cuddling and stuff, yeah. But
yeah,
like,
but I mean, like, they're not going down to like to have like a normal. We're like, hey, it's bedtime. We're going to sleep. It's like they have this weird conversation. They've clearly been fighting, and they go to bed together and they're still talking. I don't think it's that weird that he's that close.
I mean, it's specifically framed so that it does showcase that he's invading her space, though.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, he is, but at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't seem that strange to me.
I guess it's not as strange as a lot of the other stuff in the movie, or
yeah, like there's weirder shit.
For me, I guess it's just because like imagining it from me is like, fucking annoying. Like, get away from me, Sam Neill. Like, that would piss me off so bad if someone was doing that to me. I'd be like, get out of here, you little wimpy Sam Neill. You're not the size of a rugby player. I'll throw you out the window. You'll be gone, Sam Neill. You're too little. Yeah.
He fought a dinosaur. I don't know what you're talking about.
He didn't fight no goddamn
He fought a
dinosaurs.
dinosaur. He's fought several dinosaurs.
He just ran from
in
dinosaurs.
2 movies.
He just ran from dinosaurs. That movie should have just been called Running from Dinosaurs. Story of Dr. Grant / Sam Neill. The biopic of Sam Neill running from dinosaurs. Running from the conflict in Northern Ireland as a 6-year-old. The wimp. Man, fucking tentacle monsters, am I right?
Yeah, Japanese stole this one.
I think maybe Japan probably was already had
you
some.
You think by anyone they had some tentacle monsters?
I think Japan's probably had
tentacle monster for a long time.
Because they
love the octopus.
Their culture is spends a lot of time with tentacles in other ways. You know, like eating them. Not always having sex. Mostly eating them or having sex with them, I guess.
What else can you do with a tentacle, really?
I watch them have a good time. It's cool to watch octopuses and stuff. So you don't always have to eat them or fuck them.
I don't track.
Unless it's Davy Jones. Then you gotta fuck him and eat him. What is it in Greek mythology? Eros and Thanatos are brothers. Sex and death. Or Eros is lust or love or whatever. So sex and death are constantly associated with each other, right? It's a philosophical concept a lot of people are familiar with. It's even orgasm in French is la petite mort, the little death, right? So, sex and death. What do you think this film is about? The nature of sex and death to a certain extent?
Maybe.
Well, because there's she seems to have like exquisite euphoria in like some of the murders and stuff, and she then has like sex with the tentacle monster afterwards.
Right.
So it's like, is she getting powered up by the murder, and then therefore the power is being leashed out of her by the demon? Obviously, none of this is addressed in the film because it's all mysterious. Why would they give you like no one knows how the devil operates. We don't know the steps.
We don't even know if it's the devil. She makes a lot of allusions to being maybe God.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it is. Well, I don't know. Who knows? She talks to Jesus, buff Jesus.
Divine or some shit.
In her mind, it is, right?
That's what she seems to.
Yeah. I mean, she might not be wrong. That's the thing is, I mean, we're approaching the point where we'll be able to create life without women, but for a long time, only thing that created life was women. So women are kind of divine, right?
Sure.
I mean, we understand the scientific and biology of it now, but it's easy to understand why there's like divinity associated with women throughout human history, right? That's been manipulated and changed to have power over women, which is pretty shitty, but it's like the divinity of creation. So to her, it's divine no matter what, you would think, right? So even if it is...
But I mean, on the other hand, she's not really creating anything in this situation anyways.
Well, yes, she is. Where do the demons come from? She gives birth to them.
Does she? Because she's having sex with it, and it seems like it's draining power from her.
I don't know.
To create itself. I don't know. I mean, again, we don't go into any of this part.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're
my assumption
something that may not be there.
Maybe, but then where did the demon come from?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess know. She maybe just found the demon.
Heinrich opened her mind to all sorts of possibilities and shit. Remember?
Yeah, because he had drugs.
Yeah.
He had like a fucking little packet of dust. It's a heroin?
I couldn't figure. I thought it was heroin. He got it from India? Is that what he said?
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, it's gonna make sex so wonderful and harmonious." I was like,
like
heroin? No. I was like, "What is that powder?
Weed?
It's ecstasy. Did they have it back then? Oh, 81, yeah, for sure they did. But why would you go to India to get it? Berlin would be the place to get it outright, anyways. What the fuck?
It's angel dust. Does angel dust come from India?
Everything comes from India, the cradle of the world." That's like what some dumb middle class white person would say that doesn't like understand. They just think of
geographic.
Yeah, the mystic Orient. I'm gonna go to India to discover myself. What? They have more than one religion here? This is garbage.
Not for long.
I guess they'll probably go after the Sikhs too, huh? Everyone else confuses them for Muslims, anyways. Sorry, sorry guys.
You're a sheik? I don't give a damn about no sheik. People are actually think you said sheik, I'm sure.
Man, the world's a fucked up place.
But you know what isn't? Possession. Makes perfect sense.
Makes sense to me.
Seriously, let's talk about the spy movie inside of the other two movies.
Oh, alright.
Because it makes no fucking sense. That's the part of the movie I'm angry about.
Oh, I don't care because it's just like some set dressing for why he's absentee all the time.
Yeah, but well, no, it's not because they also use it in the climax of the movie to finish everything off.
Yeah, he was just reusing actors, so he didn't have to hire extras
I guess my feeling for this is, it's fine to use it as set dressing. Just don't bring it back for the climax because you're.
I mean, it doesn't come back in any relevancy for the climax.
Yeah, because they're trying. Are they investigating the wife? Are they trying to pin murders on her or him so that he's like coerced to come back to the spy operation?
Yeah, I guess.
Just want a little bit more.
Well, I wasn't too concerned with it. I was like, all right, let's just get to the...
Because they're at the very beginning of the movie, and they disappear for the entire movie, and they're all of a sudden back at the end. It bothers me.
I think it was just for convenience sake.
Yeah, well, you know what? It
doesn't
make it a good story.
Well, it doesn't ruin the story either, especially because it's not about any of that spy bullshit. I would rather talk about...
I would rather just not be there.
I guess they could do that too. But I want to talk about the two private detectives in the film who live together.
Homosexuals?
Yes, I want to see a movie about them.
I thought we did, wasn't it? The other guys with Russell Crowe and the handsome fella.
Russell Crowe?
No, from Drive. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that's the nice guys?
The nice guys. The other guys is Will Ferrell and the guy that beats up Vietnamese people.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yep,
that guy. That racist.
I don't actually think they're gay in that movie. I was just making a joke.
Oh.
They could be. I've never seen it.
Shane Black made that movie, so it's probably got weird pedophilia stuff in it.
There's probably just a weird pedophilia in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shane Black hasn't been accused of pedophilia. Excuse me. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. He's just friends with pedophiles and puts them in his movie. No, I want to see fucking late 70s, early 80s, West Berlin. Two homosexual detectives on the beat. I want to see what their life is like. That's like, fucking, what's going on in that film?
They're not even really detectives, they're PIs.
Yeah, and then obviously the climax of it is them getting wrapped up in this shit and they get killed. But like, you know, you could do some other cool stuff beforehand because So it seems that there's probably crazy shit going on in West Berlin.
Oh, West Berlin. I've met at West Berlin PLAs. They got some great stuff going on in 81.
Hell yeah, man. They got fucking... What are the secret police calls? Oh, it's in East Berlin. Well, no, they have in West Berlin, too.
Now, or what they were called in 81?
What they were called back then.
I don't remember. In 81, they would have been Russian operas. Putin was stationed in East Berlin, I think, at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's there and like, fucking, we've got to get rid of all this dance music.
I actually think he was there when the Berlin Wall fell.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty
he
sure
was like desperately trying to put it back up. Iron Curtain never fall. Fucking Putin. He couldn't, I mean, he was desperately trying to, but he can only pick up the little rocks.
This one is, that's a German accent.
Yeah.
This one is too high.
Yeah.
Well, he was in Germany. He had to do a German accent, so it makes sense. That's
Yeah, because he was undercover.
Right.
Undercover. Deep cover.
I am here for German.
Vlad
I am German,
Putin.
man.
See, I'm Noi. I am German. I'm how
I
you
am
say.
German.
I'm how you say German guy.
I am how you say Russian Guyovich.
Fucking Putin. He's a dork. Kill him too.
Great. Now we're never going to be allowed in Russia.
I don't think they let people just go party in Russia anyways. I know it's like the borders are kind of open. Like you can kind of go there. But like I don't think they'd be like, oh yeah, let's invite this shitty American podcast to come tour in Russia. You gotta be Rammstein to get into Russia.
I don't think they're really allowed in Russia either.
Probably not anymore because they are kissing. Which is like, even that's not that big a deal. They constantly act out gay sex on their stage shows. So the show,
You talking about Rammstein or Russia?
Rammstein.
Russia's got some problems with gay stuff right
Yeah,
now.
I know, but like they knew what they were getting when they invited Rammstein in there. Everyone knows that Till fucks the other guy in the ass and then shoots a bunch of like fake cum from a giant dildo.
I think it should be confetti. That's funner.
I mean, like, what if it's, I don't know, what if it's like milkshakes though? And you'd be like, milkshake.
Nah,
Nom, nom, nom,
how
nom,
long
nom.
it's sitting in there? It's probably warm by the time they do it.
No, he's got like an ice cooled backpack. It's fresh McFlurry coming out of there. Or if you shot flames, they use fire and a bunch of shit too. Maybe they have
flames
a
would be cool.
dick that shoots
Depending
fire.
on the song.
Maybe they have a dick that shoots fire. I haven't seen what their live show's like in a while. Rammstein's pretty cool though.
See if there's anything in my notes here I want to bring up.
Rammstein's from Berlin. This movie's actually about how Till Lindemann was born, I think.
Oh, why the fuck did he fill their chests?
Yeah, so he does it with his son.
Right, and he does it with Anna, like in the scene right after that.
And then he does it again with fake Anna, right? No, Anna does it to him later.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is what I mean. There's stuff in this movie that only the guy that made it understands. And like, so no one ever asked him or something? Because I was trying to find like
answers to this shit.
Yeah, like was there an interview where he talked about it more? And so there's barely any interviews with him at all. So like no one just like
In English, you should look for some Polish interviews. Learn Polish.
Oh yeah, I should have done Google.po. Is that what?
I think it's PL.
PL. Polski. Polish can't be that hard, right? It's just like completely different origin from English.
Oh yeah, but when I was watching it, there's a scene where Heinrich shows up at Petey's house and he's clearly on drugs, but before we know that he does drugs, I'm like, Heinrich's on drugs.
I just thought he was drunk.
I thought no, people don't act like that when they're drunk.
If you're really drunk, you do.
No, I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever seen anybody act like that when they're
You've
drunk.
never been drunk and in love with the euphoria of life, talking random bullshit.
No, that's not why I drink.
Oh wait,
You're like, oh no, wait, that's ketamine.
Well, no, I was thinking like every time. I was thinking of like times where I was like that from drinking. I was like, oh no, I was mixing with that other shit. Ketamine does make you feel like super euphoric and stuff. But I've been living in a K-hole. I've been living in a K-hole. Oh man, rest in peace, David Berman. It's been like a couple months now, but missed that fella. Silver Jews, man.
The Heinrich's mom. Got any thoughts on her?
She seems like a pretty cool lady, just having a good time, kicking it with her son, drinking tea.
She's really worried about his soul and where it went.
Yeah, and she's like, Heinrich's dead, right? And he's like, And she's just kind of like, well, had to happen to him eventually. He was kind of asshole. You know what I mean? She doesn't seem that distraught about it.
Well, she's old and she's just gonna die now.
Yeah, that's true. Anna was really just playing it by ear with everything, right? There doesn't seem to have been.
Well, I mean, she's in the midst of a metal breakdown brought on by the devil.
Yeah, I guess like he broke her mind.
Yeah, I mean, like by the time Pete gets home, it seems like she's already gone.
Yeah, it's because she doesn't seem to have control of anything. But she's like rented the secret apartment.
Did she rent it? We don't know that.
Well, I guess she could be squatting.
I assumed she was just squatting because it seemed like there's nothing there.
Yeah, and it was kind of old. I don't know what it was like in West Berlin. What was the housing market like? Did you just squat and shit?
I can't. In '81, I can't imagine it was great.
Oh, you're saying that capitalism doesn't always directly benefit the people that are under capitalism?
Maybe I don't know. That's the Germans now in their capitalism market.
Equally as much as the Soviet Union.
Let's see how the East Berlin was doing under Soviet rule.
Probably all right. They just weren't allowed to party. No partying. That's it for Possession.
Yeah, we're going to cut that last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I forgot what we left off on. Basically, it's a pretty good movie. It's pretty weird. It can only be understood really by the guy that directed it, but it's worth watching. Just a warning, though, it is like pretty weird.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a weird one.
It's also emotionally intense, so if people yelling and stuff gets you uncomfortable, just let you know that that'll happen. Also, Sam Neill beats his wife at one point in the movie.
Yeah, we don't really go into that. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like that part. It's like, so it is visualized really well, like it, how it transpires and takes place, but it still is just kind of like, I don't know. You don't know what the intention of the scene is without talking to the director directly about it, which
it's hard to.
Why would you? That's the scene where you'd want to kind of put a stance on it, right? But at the end of the scene, it seems like it's not like there's no bad guy here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like she even is like, "Oh, it's no big deal." So it's kind of like, but she's crazy, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't believe anything she says.
Yeah, so maybe it was a big deal. It seemed like a big deal to me. That would have been it for Sam Neill. Heinrich should have came over and fucking karate did him to death. But then Heinrich tries to rape her later, too. So
again, he doesn't want to impose his will on anybody, except for right now in this specific instance.
It's casual.
And unless you go against him, then he's going to impose his will.
That's casual misogyny of most of human history, I guess. Perpetuated quite openly in film in the 80s and the 70s, and the 90s.
Thoughts.
Up until recently. Yeah, that's another thing that's always like, oh, this auteur director. It's like, well, he's probably gonna be an asshole. He's probably kind of a dick.
Well, because you have to be an auteur director, you have to be kind of a control freak.
Same thing like a politician, right?
And like control freaks
you gotta
are
be able to just like you gotta be like, I'm the best. I know what I'm doing. No one else knows shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell at you dickhead. Oh, well, that's it for Possession. VHS Cole.
What's up next?
Reanimator. It'll be more fun.
Ah, Sam Neill again.
No, Sam Neill's not in Reanimator.
Wasn't he in Reanimator?
Nope.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. There's people that are horror famous that are in Reanimator, but not.
Sam Neill is in another horror movie in the 80s that reminds me of like a Lovecraftian thing. I have to go back and I'm gonna go through his IMDb.
His filmography.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah,
VHS Cole.
Reanimator, watch next. Go to adventureproductions.com. Check out. Check out some shit. And go fuck yourself.